Right now, here on the WHAS 11 night team, it's the very first look. West End residents getting the first tours of the new Norton West Louisville Hospital, their community health care center. Hello, everybody, and thank you for staying up a little late with us tonight here at 11:30. I'm Doug Proffitt. That hospital will be admitting its first patient in less than a month from now. WHAS 11 night team's Alex Dederer and photojournalist Elijah McKenzie have more on why it's really more than just a hospital for West Louisville.
You can see people lining up right here.
The first hospital in West Louisville in 150 years.
I think it's a message of hope.
Over 600 community members got the chance to see their new hospital for the first time.
The community built it. The community is going to work here. The community gets to see it before they are the community that gets treated here.
We had requested it for so many years and just did not ever think that it would come to fruition, but it has, and it has exceeded expectation.
Founder of Molo Village, Reverend Dr. James Sada Ferguson, has been waiting for this moment to walk through the hospital built for her community.
But I'm also excited for the benefits for the people in this community that sometimes neglect their health care or don't have access to downtown, and so now this is accessible to them.
Norton West Chief Administrative Officer Karenza Townsend says right now the hospital has 360 employees, saying it's enough to open the hospital now if they wanted to.
Hey, staff.
It's unlike any other Norton hospital, with artwork created by West Louisville artists.
Another beautiful piece.
While communities got a first-hand look at the new hospital come November 11th, these doors will be officially open to see patients.
So this is where the patients come before they do their procedure or surgery.
Townsend says the hospital is able to stabilize anyone who comes into the emergency room, on top of primary care, women's care, and specialties like neurology.
It's like a one-stop shop. People can be confident and also take control over their health.
West Louisville residents now left counting down the days until their hospital is open for business. In Louisville, Alex Dederer, the WHAS 11 night team on your side.
Before the hospital opens on November 11th, that's Veterans Day, there's going to be a block party this Saturday to celebrate both the hospital and the Goodwill Opportunity Center, which is connected right to it. An historical monument unveiling will happen at 11 a.m. Saturday morning, and the party will go from noon until 4 at the Norton West Louisville Hospital, 28th and Broadway. Right here, news since 6 o'clock. Attorneys for one of the men charged in the Crystal Rogers murder case in Bardstown are providing a clearer picture of the scope of the evidence they have in this case. In a motion filed Friday, attorneys for Joseph Lawson say the witness folder alone contains more than 300 separate folders for different witnesses. Lawson's attorneys say most of the evidence isn't relevant to his case. Joseph Lawson is fighting to have his trial separate from his father, Steve Lawson, and Rogers' former boyfriend, Brooks Houck. The Lawsons are expected to be back in court on Friday. They are both charged with conspiracy to commit murder and tampering with physical evidence in Crystal's death. Former Metro Police Detective Brett Hankison walking into the federal courthouse in downtown Louisville today for the first day of testimony in his retrial. He's charged with violating the civil rights of Breonna Taylor and that of her neighbors when he fired into her apartment complex the night of the deadly raid in 2020. On the stand today, Miles Cosgrove, who fired the bullet that killed Taylor. He testified before officers served the warrant. They inspected the outside and they weren't able to see through the sliding glass door. It had blinds up. He said, quote, "It's common sense. If you can't see something, you shouldn't be shooting at it." Well, defense attorneys argued no one can tell Hankison what he saw and heard during that shooting. Taylor's family tell us that they believe the jury is being more attentive compared to the one last November.
Yeah, I'm watching how they react and how they respond to different statements, different testimonies that's being given, to their alertness, to the story shifts, to the questions that's being asked and the answers that's being given.
This is the third trial for Brett Hankison. He's never been convicted. The judge has said that this federal retrial could last up to 3 weeks. A Jeffersonville man has died after a shooting that happened this morning in New Albany. Indiana State Police say 30-year-old Jonte Trumbo was shot several times on West 8th Street near downtown New Albany and later died at the hospital. The 17-year-old suspect stayed at the scene. He is charged with possession of a gun by a felon, obstruction of justice, and false informing. Indiana State Police handling the investigation to allow New Albany police to focus on that fatal shooting that happened near Harvest Homecoming. Covered siding and insulation, charred insulation. That's the scene today after this restaurant fire on Frankfort Avenue. It happened Friday night. Customers were evacuated from Enzo in Louisville, and they haven't returned since. The restaurant owners saying on social media they're going to be closed indefinitely, but are confident that they will bounce back. WHS 11 Night Team's Clarice Shaley and photojournalist Levi Hammer learned what it might take for this new restaurant to reopen.
I mean, people were all confused.
A dinner-stopping night for customers of Enzo last Friday evening, evacuated from the restaurant because of a fire and closing the restaurant until further notice. It was definitely something to walk through like Ideen Sabik did.
But we walked past to go to the bar here and we saw the fire trucks, ambulances, and all kinds of things. And they told us it was a fire at Enzo.
It's unfortunate to see this happen to an area he frequents.
I love this area. Enzo has great food. The workers there and the staff are really nice.
Workers at Hilltop Tavern noticed the sirens before they noticed the haze and noticed Louisville rap star Jack Harlow, one of the restaurant's customers that night.
I was like, oh, is that who that was? Because everybody else was freaking out.
Leaving a restaurant fire that was contained quickly.
You know, it wasn't like a huge breakout fire. It was more of a contained thing to the kitchen, I think.
Hilltop Tavern manager Robert Spillman says the fire was in the back of the building. Firefighters having to cut through the metal sidewall to get to the wood on fire, leaving significant structural damage that Spillman hopes will only take the restaurant a month to get fixed and checked through codes.
Just closing for a week as a restaurant hurts. You've got rent for your building if you don't own it. You know, you're losing profits already. You still have all your other bills and overhead before even getting to, you know, catching back up. I think they'll be able to come back just fine. They're a pretty great place.
So while Enzo is closed for the time being, Robert Spillman did tell me that these businesses here on Frankfort Avenue are very tight-knit, and he's willing to offer a shift at his place when it does come available to any of those workers who need it. In Louisville, Clarice Shaley, WHAS 11 Night Team on your side.
All new here on the night team, past transportation issues within JCPS took center stage during a task force meeting that happened in Frankfort today. The group, which was formed to study the district, heard from education consulting group Prismatic Services. JCPS hired that company to look into the transportation disaster that happened on the first day of school last August. Now, the Prismatic president testified that they made dozens of recommendations to JCPS to fix the problems. The task force member, Rebecca Nicholas, the principal at Fern Creek, said they've seen drastic improvements this year.
We don't have late buses. Our buses are all there on time. We don't have the issues with bus discipline. So just in terms of commentary and firsthand experience, I could never defend what happened in 2023, but it is a profoundly different situation now. So I just wanted everybody to know that.
The task force is scheduled to meet at least one more time next month.